here. Scyther on the Luna forward is fascinating. So we're kind of running a bit of a double midfield comp for the side of Bunn Bunn Bonanza. And then it's very much a comfort draft for the Soondubu Strikers, running the Rasmus Estelle, classic Oni Village stuff, and then shape-shifting on the now goalie. It's been a while since we've seen him use it, but it's been on his roster for a while now. So I'm excited to see how that turns out for them. Lego, one thing that fascinates me about this match is that we are kind of watching a battle at the end of the season of two triumphant returns. We have Soondubu as they, sweep into their first goal here, opening up the net really quickly. Coming off of a long hiatus. These guys haven't been in the league for quite some time. All their players have gone their separate ways. Dreezy and Grimella were split up for a long while. And we kind of saw the Bunn Bunn Bonanza training arc last season, so they didn't see a whole lot of success because they did their big role swap. But it seems like they're a lot better for it. This is the strongest that I think we've seen them in a really long time. To both of these teams, as Bunn Bunn Bonanza snagged that first goal with Scyther 12 on the Luna dash, are reining in for their triumphant return, and I'm eager to see which one comes out on top and moves to Grants.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's already top 3 for both of these teams. Looking for that top 2 spot, or even potentially the top 1. They can get past the multi-headed Hydra of Hungry Like Nephew. But we'll see. First they have to take down each other, which I think is going to be a hard enough battle. I feel like these teams are relatively evenly matched here, and on Oni Village with recovery drone start, I mean, this is just going to be a war of attrition. This is going to be who slips up first and makes that little mistake, and who can keep the mental for long enough to outlast this map, really. It's a lot of back and forth and a lot of high-speed cores that you just have to always be on point with. And so far, I mean, we're seeing kind of the pinnacle of that. A lot of core flips getting traded here. 4 of them getting burnt in that sequence, and shapeshifting left a little worse for wear here. Still holding up one barrier. Core flip here from Grimella to try and send it up, but Dreezy getting knocked around, is staggered. Slime's coming out defensively there from Liari. Keep the open goal held down, but Grimella able to find the piercing shot, line it up on Lilybun, and that'll tie up set 1 here, 1-1.
Yeah, and that's Grimella scoring that goal. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that this game. Rasmus kind of gets shut down by a massive DUBU, especially with that Pauldrons, because the primary pretty much becomes irrelevant. DUBU is going to be able to strike around it pretty consistently. So you're going to have to rely on this Estelle who can apply pressure at range and cover a lot of DUBU's, clear angles. Like right there, we see the rose work coming in on the end of Lilybun having to burn all of her cooldowns there. So I think Dreezy is basically just here to sort of pad the offense, and it's mainly going to be Grimella getting those star plays up against Lilybun, because she's going to be giving Dreezy quite a challenge on the offense this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, ooh, nice blink from Grimella. Lilybun having to roll back. Not able to hold on to the core long enough, though. A bit of a slip up there on the open goal will allow Dreezy Breezy to pick up that second point. That's just what this map is about. You got to be real careful pushing up and playing around this open goal, because like I said earlier, one little slip up and this core will slide past absolutely everyone. Totally ruin your day.
Yeah, one thing that I am interested to see is how effective this now goalie pick is up against the double midfield. I haven't seen enough now goalie played to really have like a good amount of data on that knowledge. My instinct says she shouldn't be bad into it, but I mean, Scyther and Liari just cut through shape-shifting like he was butter there. So who knows? Yeah, they could be pretty effective into the now backline.
That was just a really good strike placement from Scyther. I think shapeshifting went for the primary setup, not expecting Scyther to get in range in time or something, and Scyther just redirected to the bottom of the core there. Now Scyther once again with the core flip, going to trade it with Grimilla though. Lilybun covering that bottom side will be able to keep the core contained, corralled up on Soondubu's side of the field for the time being. The Slimes coming out offensively here, but Soondubu able to power through, push the core out, pass down to Grimilla, setting up the multiple primaries. The core from Lilybun able to save it. Shapeshifting going to trade here as well, up to Dreezy with the whiplash, but core kept just out of range of that secondary to connect. Back pass here to Grimilla, trying to put it back. Once again, the double primaries coming out from the forwards of Soondubu Strikers. Not able to connect there, but when it does, it will be devastating. That much is for sure. Now, Dreezy Breezy has a core flip available. Soondubu just have to get the core back off their side of the field. Now burning it here with the Whiplash available. Sends it down, but a nice save from Bunn Bunn Bonanza to keep their bottom barrier alive as we head into overtime. Liari gets the recovery drone burnt off, and 3Z able to pick up that second barrier with the pendulum swing. Still a flip available here for Liari as Bunn Bunn Bonanza bringing that second one, but Scyther pushing, or sorry, 3Z pushing up with the Whiplash, so the other one makes one save, but 3Z will win the strike war the second time around. That'll be Soondubu Strikers taking set one.
Yeah, nice strike wars from 3Z. That's pretty much his... That's going to be one of his major strengths, especially with size and speed on this Rasmus. I think he's going to have to play mainly around his strike because the DUBU roll can easily shut down that secondary, and like I said, this size on Lilybun is going to make it really hard for hit stuns that Rasmus can pump out to really do too much. But Scyther is going to get a lot more this draft out of extra special on that Luna. Lilybun's going to start sparking here, and 3Z, like I said, wants to be playing around that speed, so picking up this Super Surge is going to make that secondary a lot more effective for him on the Rasmus pickup. Nothing else too influential picked up this draft. Liari is not going to be sad with Deadeye on the Juno, and Shapeshifting is going to get a little bit more creation shenaniganery with the Siege Machine. But definitely, I mean, the Twin Drive is nice on Grimella, right? Rose Warp is a really good ability, but there are certainly more influential things that Estelle could have gotten from a draft like that.
Yeah, especially on this map, dash range is absolutely king for this character, and Bunn Bunn starting off with an early point here in set 2, but I do have one question. We see Lilybun opting into the Sparks. She went for the Spark of Power. Spark of Leadership was available. What are your thoughts on going for the single Spark? Is it better to go for the Power and just hold off on Leadership, or should you invest in Leadership early, hoping to get stuff later?
I think especially if you're picking between like your first Spark and Leadership, I think that grabbing the first non-Leadership Spark is more valuable. I think if all Sparks are gone and you're forced to pick a single Spark, then Leadership is better because it doesn't need other Sparks to be good, right? It gives you a nice little bit of stats. But all these other Sparks, as long as you're planning on getting multiple Sparks over the course of a game, going for a non-Leadership Spark like Strength is absolutely the play, so you actually have the chance to scale off of it. Because scaling for your team Leadership, it's been nerfed pretty heavily in that regard, so it is not really as valuable as just getting a lot of one stat on your goalie, especially when that goalie is someone as menacing as DUBU, right?
Yeah, makes sense. And speaking of menacing, Lilybun playing very far up here. Actually gets punished pretty hard with the double barrier going down. She does have core flip available, and Liari will have it pretty soon as well. Picking up right there. So hopefully they can hold on here. Liari having to burn her flip a little bit early just to keep the core off of their side of the field. But Grimella and 3Z Breezy, they're pushing back right now. Shapeshifting, setting up shop in the midfield here. 3Z pressuring that corner hard. The Roadstorm is not able to do much, and Lilybun will be able to hold the top corner. Now Soondubu getting pushed back to their side of the field. Bunn Bunn Bonanza forced to play around this bottom side of the map, with the core slipping back around again. We push into the top speed lane. 3Z Breezy pushing it back out. Grimella blinking down to the bottom here. The donuts coming out as we head into overtime. Pass up to 3Z into the corner, trying to find a rotation. Core flip here from Grimella. Catches it just a bit off the corner, though. 3Z maybe another chance. Shapeshifting's primary able to catch it and keep the offense going with the Whiplash setup. 3Z, an excellent angle into the bottom corner. And Soondubu Strikers will put themselves on the board and stay alive in this set.
That's seriously impressive, especially because I was wondering why it red cored. I'm looking now at Super Surge stats. I'd never noticed
it
was
the Whiplash
before. But it gives 8% core speed buff.
Yeah.
To the abilities that it buffs, and that Rasmus Whiplash is included in the Super Surge abilities that get buffed. So very nice. And even though they started this set off at a 2-point disadvantage, Soondubu Strikers are already back in it. They've cracked open both barriers once more, and they're keeping this offense up pretty consistently.
We saw the double primary overlap as well there from the Rasmus Estelle. But Scyther, a nice play, boosting down to reposition and brings the strike to the top corner while Shapeshifting rotated to the bottom side there. That's going to give Bunn Bunn a set of their own here to tie up the game as we head into the draft. And hopefully looking to get something a little bit better here. A lot of really good awakenings showing up on this board. I see Team Player, I see Fight or Flight, I see Missile Prop. So we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, well, and Lilybun was pushed all the way down to the bottom of the draft, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. But the fight or flight on Scyther, especially with these slip kicks, you know, a little bit of extra speed and maneuverability on this Luna, especially when you're playing double midfield, it's going to be crazy valuable. Interestingly enough, Orb Replicator picked up by Liari. I have to imagine that that's mainly to maybe give Lilybun a little bit more options at the back of the draft. But once more, that's not a crazy influential draft for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. I think the Soondubu Strikers definitely got the better end of it, with Grimella getting team player, more size on 3Z, and Shapeshifting has picked up every creation, duration, awakening in the game, which means that he now has, I believe, 130% creation duration, as well as a little bit of size from Timeless Creator. So, especially with the playstyle of Now Goalie that has, you know, sort of the tower defensey, you want your primaries to stay on the board for a really long time. Look at how massive
Look at that
and
thing. Look at that
long-lasting.
thing. That's crazy.
So yeah, he's going to be getting a ton of value out of that for sure. I think Soondubu definitely got the better end of that draft.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there. They got a lot of very influential stuff out of that, though. They are down on their barriers at the moment. Thicer does have a flip Grimella, able to even that up with the piercing shots. Thicer working the way up the field. There's a core flip in between 3Z and Grimella, and boosting for security. Beat them in the foot race, and made it so that neither of the forwards from Soondubu Strikers were in front of him, and just had a wide open shot to that bottom where Shapeshifting wasn't able to cover. Nice read there from Scyther, who's been having a pretty good day all day today, and we'll see if Soondubu Strikers can fire back.
Now, one thing I'm noticing is Scyther is playing really, really nicely into Shapeshifting, just kind of holding most of his abilities, especially that secondary, that Luna Dash, for after Shapeshifting is burning that Now Mine, which is kind of the big, like, reactive ability that she has. She can set it preemptively with her primaries, but she really needs that secondary to defend. So good job on Scyther there, but it is 3Z that actually finds the point for Soondubu there. Nice primary will tag Lilybun into the back of the goal box, and we're seeing, you know, an influence of those awakenings from last draft coming in. That was a massive Rasmus primary, helped out by the 2 size awakenings that 3Z has been able to pick up this game.
Core flip here from Liari to keep the tempo up, but ends up bouncing around the world. It'll be Soondubu picking off the rental barrier. But now the real game starts. Scyther is pretty hurt here, but he still has recovery drone, and this isn't necessarily a good position for too many people to get KO'd. So we should be fine. Able to eat up the orb. Should just be right back to health. Has a lot of energy as well from that. Scyther's just eating up all the energy. Can have another flip here very shortly. Grimella first forced to burn his against the barrier to try and clear it out, but Bunn Bunn are still keeping the pressure on pretty well. Lilybun passed to Scyther. Looking for the core flip here. Shapeshifting makes the save, but Liari bouncing in is going to be able to pick up that second barrier. Now Lilybun way up on the offense, dropping the ult offensively here. Bouncing around in all the Now creations. Scyther boosting in, but 3Z was ready for that one. Able to win another strike war here as well, and boosting up with the Whiplash, but Liari able to force the core out as we head into overtime. Grimella assaults on the bottom side, doesn't find much. Shapeshifting back to Grimella, kick up to 3Z in the top corner, and Grimella blinking down is going to be able to find that second barrier. Now it's both sides opened up, passes the slime, Shapeshifting, a nice strike shot to save it, boosting in sight there, but a core from Shapeshifting gets stalled out though. Grimella coming in to save the day and clear it out here up to the top corner. Liari looking to set up a Blavo. Shapeshifting makes the save though. Off to 3Z with the Whiplash. Lilybun somersaulting up in the top corner to make the save. The Rose Thorns though from Grimella, able to catch out Scyther and Lilybun, who weren't ready for that interception, and it'll be set point for Soondubu Strikers.
Yeah, very nice there. That was a clean sort of midpoint adaptation from Soondubu Strikers. They noticed that Lilybun and Scyther were really consistently linking up on their defense, which was allowing Bunn Bunn to really effectively convert from defense to offense. They did that multiple times last point. And Soondubu was wondering, you know, what's going on? Why can't we do that same thing? And so Grimella and Shapeshifting started linking up a lot more on defense, and that helps especially because Grimella has this team player. So you can kind of slingshot it off of Grimella up to 3Z on offense, which allowed them to really close out that point. But we're seeing once more Bunn Bunn close in with 3 core flips here on the open Soondubu net. They're eager to tie up the set here, and Liari will find it with her core flip.
0.5 now. Totally tied up neck and neck. I said these teams were even at the beginning of this, but so far this has just been proven to be an absolute back and forth. 1 flip available for each side as 3Z looking for that quick kickoff, but ends up getting punished pretty heavily for it in terms of his health bar. Grimilla dashing in with the Thorns won't be able to pick up that second barrier just yet. Getting knocked around a bit by the Scyther rockets. There's the DUBU ult to totally shut that down. Bunn Bunn Bonanza looking for a way to get the core off their side of the field, though. So far, Soondubu keeping it up. As much the Blobbo will be able to bring it down to the bottom side and eat off the first barrier. Breezy looking for the second with the pendulum swing. Doesn't find it there. Blobbo's coming out from Liari again. Shapeshifting, quick to respond. Liari jumping up to the top side. Scyther still holding down this bottom pretty well. But Grimilla putting up a solid defense as well. Shapeshifting, dashing up for a second, just to drop some heals on Threezy. Don't find too much as we're about to head into overtime.
Overtime, and there's core speed potential on both of these teams, right? But especially we're eyeing that team player that Grimilla has picked up. Already we're seeing red cores come out as he ping-pongs it up to Threezy as many times as he can. A clutch save there by Lilybunn's log will keep the barrier from going down. Rose Warp goes wide though, hits Scyther 12 instead, who flips in front of the barrier, trades with Shapeshifting, who will defend it away. Nice Luna nuke there, sends Grimilla off of the core, and it'll be found. Barriers down for the Soondubu Strikers now.
Oh, almost able to line up a piercing shot there, but now Threezy Breezy in the top corner. Lilybun finds the center clear. Liari jumping up at the top corner, looking for a pass to Scyther, but Grimilla able to cover him pretty well. The Blobbo's coming out on the offense, but Soondubu able to hold it down. Threezy down to the bottom side, and that's going to be both sides opened up. Lilybun somersault to make the save, just barely in time. Threezy might have an angle around, but the wall will disappear. Threezy has the core flip available. Liari going to burn one first, though, just to get it away from him as much as possible.
What a
boost down from
dash!
Scyther to win the strike war against Grimilla. And Bunn Bunn Bonanza close out set 3. They're up 2-1 now. One more, and they'll take game 1.
That was insane. I mean, Scyther's Luna, it seems like it just gets more and more impressive every season, but so many goals have just been saved by the perfect dash at the perfect time, and that one was perhaps the most impressive that we've seen today. Liari is rewarded with Hot Shot here. That stacks on stacks additional speed and maneuverability on Scyther. It's going to be even harder for Soondubu to respond to. That being said, we're going to finally see that twin drive pickup by Grimilla pay off with the help of this aerials. Some dash range as well as some additional projectile range on the Crystal Thorns ult. So definitely high value awakenings picked up by both sides, but for once, I think this is a Bunn Bunn Bonanza 1 draft, and as they are a setup, and if they can take home one more, they'll be taking game 1. I think they're looking very ripe to close out our game 1 here, Lego.
Yeah, I'm thinking so as well. You do have to watch this Grimilla fellow, though, for sure. I mean, Estelle is so good on this map, and Aerials has basically turned this character into playing a different game at this point, but as long as Bunn Bunn are aware and paying attention, they should be able to close this one out. As you said, the stacks on Scyther are going to be huge for this Luna's positioning, which is just going to be oh so important right now. Top barriers still available for both sides. We're going to see a lot of play around this empty side of the field for most of this, likely, but core flips are coming online. We've got 3 up right now for Bunn Bunn Bonanza, but Threezy Breezy, the pendulum setup, able to open up Bunn Bunn's side of the field first. Grimilla blink through to get it past Lilybun, causing a bit of panic, and a piercing shot set up. Lilybun nowhere to send the core. A point stolen away here by the Soondubu Strikers. Still 3 flips up, though, for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. They didn't spend any during that, so it's just a first point. And we'll see if they can close it out now.
Oh, and notably, that piercing shot would not have been in range without the help of aerials. It was that dash range that allowed Grimilla to teleport in and find that shot. So, very nice find by the Soondubu Strikers. But, I mean, we were talking about Grimilla with team player being able to shoot this core super fast last set. Now we're seeing Liari be able to kind of match that with the Hot Shot Juno. So both teams, with the help of their core speed, will get both of the enemy barriers down. And it's just a matter of who can find the first golden opportunity to close out the point.
Yeah. Core flip here from Liari ends up not connecting. Core flip from Threezy gets blocked, though. Shapeshifting able to save against the slime. No, Grimilla blinking in almost finds the point. This is the kind of danger we're talking about. This guy can just appear anywhere, basically, at this point, and totally ruin your day. Threezy pushing up with the whiplash into the top corner, pressing hard, but Lilybun able to find the clear. Grimilla looking to set up a piercing shot, won't find it here. Blinking down to the bottom side. Threezy holding up on the top, will receive the pass here from Grimilla. Liari, though, looking to hold down this midfield line as we head into overtime. 3Z hooking Liari back. Lilybun getting stunned, but recovering just in time to make a save. Core flip from Grimilla, but Lilybun able to somersault in and keep the core away from him. Bounce off the corner was a little bit scary there. Scyther boosting in, gets hit with the recovery drone, though, and sent all the way back home. Shape-shifting, trying to get this away. Liari jumping in, almost finds the connection, but down to Scyther. 3Z in the midfield with Grimilla holding onto the core. Gets past him. Shape-shifting is fine, though. Doesn't get hit with any surprise Luna jumps. Now 3Z in the top corner. Grimilla blinking in, but Lilybun just barely able to save it out of there. But a bit of a wry pass there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but Grimilla was in that center position. And somehow the core... I don't know if Liari was trying to pass to Scyther or what exactly happened, but somehow the core went from going to the top corner down to where Grimilla was. And now we're in a bit of the danger zone as Soondubu are on set points.
They're on set point, and they're looking strong here, even though that, the end of that point was a little bit goofy. Definitely, we're seeing a lot more explosive potential from Soondubu. 3Z is able to kind of take a back seat a little bit and link up with Grimella a little bit more, so they can get the core speed going with team player, and then 3Z can set up the core for Grimella to teleport in and make a play. That's kind of the loop that we've been seeing them do for the first 2 points of this set, and if they can keep it up, I mean, they only have to score 1 point to win this set, whereas Bunn Bunn will have to score 3, so it's a tight game for Bunn Bunn here.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy, those somersaults from Lilybun do so much damage with all that power and impact she has at this point, but 3Z holding on with that recovery drone and should be totally fine. But once again, here in overtime, this is where things start to get really sketchy. Core flips getting burned here. Shape-shifting, a pass up to 3Z looking for the pendulum swing setup. Won't find it, ends up getting staggered instead. Core flip here from Scyther 12. Looking for a dribble, sets up Liari for the bounce, and they'll be able to open up the goal. But 3Z in return, and Grimilla blinking in is going to be able to pick up the point with a piercing shot. Soondubu Strikers bringing this one to a set 5. And I think we've begun to underestimate just how strong multi-dash aerials Estelle is when Grimilla is piloting on Oni Village. I mean, I'm telling you, this is like one of the most powerful setups in the game, like genuinely.
Yeah, well, and Liari and Scyther are, trying to play around it differently, right? They're trying to mark Grimella a little bit better, but it's just leaving 3Z
it's so
wide
hard,
open.
Though.
Yeah.
It's so he can go anywhere on the map instantly, right? And you can do it twice. Like, it's just really, really difficult to play around.
And now he's got 2 primaries as well. Prime time here is incredibly powerful for Grimilla. Scyther's getting more speed. Lilybun does now have 229 power with the help of Might of the Colossus, which is kind of crazy. And 3Z, using his secondary, now gets a ton of speed. He's got 2 Haste Awakenings. And Shapeshifting picked up Monumentalist. There isn't a single person in this game who doesn't have a absolutely disgusting build. So it's time. It's Battle of the Titans here. All 6 of these players are about as strong as their characters can get, and I'm just ecstatic to see who comes out on top. It'll be Soondubu Strikers. 3Z will pick up the first one with the help of that speed and then the massive size, and now this dude is hitting, what, 30% harder with his primaries with heavy impact and explosive entrance. Yeah, that is a scary Rasmus.
All about the speed. Running fast and making the core go fast is the name of the game on this Oni Village map 1 for sure. And I mean, we're just seeing highlights of it constantly. Still 2 barriers up though for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Scyther putting on a little bit of show on the defense. They will lose 1 inevitably though. That is just how this map works. Core flip here from Grimilla looking for the second one, but Lilybun too big. Can't get it past this DUBU. And they'll hold on to the top barrier here. 2 flips available. 3Z looking for this top side. Gets knocked off that ledge by Scyther 12 with the core flip. And that's going to reset the recovery drone. 3Z does have a flip of his own available here. A hook up, but Scyther able to intercept with the stack speed. He's rotate back around with the whiplash, pushing up. A huge now primary from Shapeshifting. Core flip here from 50 Breezy onto the open goal. Lilybun able to stop it with a somersault though. And Scyther 12 looking for a breakaway. Drops the Crater Maker to buy some space, but Grimilla just dribbling up the field. Has 3Z in his sights with the Whiplash, but going to get knocked around by this DUBU yet again. And Bunn Bunn Bonanza opening up the field now. Core flip gone from shapeshifting. Liari with the core flip in the top corner. Looking for an angle. Can't find one to pass to Scyther, but just gets blocked around. Back up to 3Z, looking for the bottom side. Lilybun too big, able to find the strike, with Grimilla dribbling up here. 3Z putting a lot of pressure on them, but a pass to the log, and it's going too fast for shapeshifting to find it from all the way downtown. It's a Lilybun goal. The DUBU log, getting that core speed, getting that spark of power to pay off, and they'll tie it up again.
Yeah, when you have 230 power, you don't need team player. By the time you get to overtime, you don't even need to strike towards a teammate. I mean, Lilybun just struck that straight for the goal, and it went in because shapeshifting didn't have time to react to it. So overtime is now pretty heavily favored for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. They've got the Hotshot Juno, and they've got Lilybun's insane striking power, whereas basically all that Soondubu has is Grimella and maybe a Stray Now primary, or like 3Z hooking it. So they definitely, their core speed opportunities drop down. So they've got 20 seconds on the clock now before Soondubu is in Bunn Bunn's territory.
Yeah, core flip available as well for Scyther. We've seen how much damage this guy can do with that. We'll see if he can bring him to a game point here with it as well. Breezy looking for the hook play, finds it with the pendulum swing though to open up Bunn Bunn's side of the field. Boosting up, gets the barrier, core flip from Scyther, but it hits the goal gates, and now it goes right back around, but shapeshifting again does miss in the primary! Oh no, going too fast, there was just a gap against the wall, and Bunn Bunn stealing that point away. That's what we're talking about on this map. Holy moly, the core speed is insane, but Bunn Bunn Bonanza 1 point away now from sealing out game 1.
Yeah, well, I feel it necessary to talk a little bit about Scyther's speed stats. This dude has 590 base speed. When he steps in the speed gate, he gets like 720 speed, and then that bumps up to 830 when he pops his slick kicks in fight or flight. So this Luna is zooming around regardless of whether or not she's in her dash. And with Scyther 12 at the helm, that's a spooky position to be in. Bunn Bunn are on game point here, but Soondubu are sweeping in for the goal. Pendulum swing almost finds it, but Lilybun has too much size for it to be a problem.
Got 2 core flips defensively here, but they can't let it go to waste. Oh, they bait out Grimilla's core flip. That's huge. Liari going to burn hers to send it out, but it just gets sent right back in by shapeshifting. No one's up there to capitalize on that. Scyther now with the core flip available. Always 2 available here for Bunn Bunn. They're not going to waste them if they don't have to. Boosting inside. They're 12 going to flip here. They're going to pick up the second barrier and just on the goal gate. There we go. Redeems himself from last time. Just kicks it right in. And that's the game for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. They'll take game 1 in a really, really tight contest here. And a huge win to start off this series.
Yeah, what a game from Bunn Bunn. Especially Scyther, though. A well-deserved MVP from Scyther there. I would have almost believed that he had Twin Drive, just because he always had dash for the right time, but really it was just that he was willing to hold on to that cooldown until he knew it was going to have the value that he needed it to have. And then even when he wasn't dashing around, this dude had so much speed, 271 redirects, because he was able to just position wherever he needed to be on that map. And also getting top damage, because don't forget, this is a Luna who pumps out damage by default, and he got that extra special very early on, so he was actually able to pressure, especially 3Z got tossed around quite a bit in those last couple sets, just because Scyther and Liari were both dumping out so much damage in him. I mean, Liari had second highest damage at 43,000, so just well played, and a very fun Oni Village game. That's a very fun one to start off the series.
Yeah, it's not often that I think we put fun and Oni Village in the same sentence, unless the word not is somewhere in there as well. But yeah, I have to agree. That was definitely one of the more exciting Oni Village games to watch. Everyone really got a crazy build online, and that was about as close of a game as you could feasibly ask for. Bit of a tragedy for Soondubu to end it out on those last 2 points like that. The core just going a bit too fast to get caught, but that is Oni Village. This is how Mafia works. But yeah, both these teams, I would kind of say the way they play is it's like momentum, right? I feel like when they're doing good, they continue to do good, but when they kind of fall apart, it can sort of spiral. So for Bunn Bunn to get off to a good game one start like this, I think is going to be really, really good for them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they can really carry this into game two here. And we see a pretty strong start from them as well. But that being said, Soondubu, I mean, they were right there. They were right there. And this could very well be a game three type of series for basically all the marbles, or at least a chance at all the marbles. And we'll see, though, as what was map 2? Map 2's IMEZAP, yeah. And map 2's IMEZAP, it looks like we rolled Ad Rush Primetime as well. So very different playing field than what we saw last time. KOs were not really a thing. I don't think we saw any like actual KOs with their coverage on in the game, but it's very much going to be a big playing point of this game too.
Yeah, well, and notably, this is Bunn Bunn's map pick. The only village that we just played on that Bunn Bunn won was the Soondubu Strikers map pick. I mean, that's like probably the map that they're the most well known for. It makes sense that they would pick it. It suits their more core control centered playstyle very well. Meanwhile, Bunn Bunn, I mean, we've been seeing this Drakkar pick, which is already being locked in frame one by Scyther. And it seems like every time, I haven't seen anyone be this successful with the Drakkar, right? He knows how to do, the stereotypical find the kill stuff. But also because this dude is kind of the master at like maneuvering the core around and just effectively positioning on offense to catch the core. The normal weakness of Drakkar is that he's not very good at doing that, right? He's not super high mobility. You kind of have to be in the perfect spot in order to take advantage of his stuff. But that's Scyther 12's strength. So they like cancel each other out. And this dude on Drakkar is an absolute menace on the offense, and especially on IMEZAP.
Look what else they got though. They got the Rasmus midfield. They got the Rasmus. They got the Rasmus Drakkar coming out in the forward duo. Well, unless they're like putting DUBU forward or something. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think it's really bone on DUBU. But yeah, very interesting team comp here. Whereas looks like Soondubu going a very different direction. Looks like it's gonna be a Luna goalie for them more than likely. Grimilla back on the Estelle, and 3Z Breezy rocking that probably Ad Rush Zentaro. So definitely looking to play into the damage here on that side, both sides really, but this could be a really, really interesting one. Rasmus midfield is not something I don't think we see too often, and especially not from Bunn Bunn Bonanza, unless I'm insane and also haven't watched any games this season because I've been like busy, but
yeah, I mean it's a bit of a throwback to the classics,
yeah.
right? Back in
That's an old pick.
Yeah, if we're looking at early seasons of NASL, IMEZAP was a solved map, and back when mirror picks were around, everybody just played Rasmus Julie as their forward comp, and you would have Julie play the more brawlery one, and you would have your midfielder play the Rasmus. So this Rasmus midfield, it's been around for a while. It's fallen out of fashion a little bit in favor of Aimee, Estelle. Even though Luna has been a pretty popular midfield pick on IMEZAP. But Liari, notably, was one of the like big frontrunners of the Rasmus midfield era. She would run Rasmus midfield on all sorts of maps that weren't IMEZAP as well. She would run it on Night Market. She would run it on AtLab. So if there's anybody to be scared of, just by sheer quantity of experience on this Rasmus midfield pick, it's probably Liari. So Bunn Bunn are looking quite solid here. And I think that pretty much the only win condition that I can see here for the side of Soondubu Strikers is them just snowballing off of Ad Rush procs. If they can, because, I mean, they have more consistent damage, right? They don't necessarily have to rely as much on, mispositioning, going for, knockback KOs as a Drakkar might. Drakkar obviously also pumps out a lot of damage, but he doesn't really prevent healing as reliably, unless he's got his ult up, right? So I think between Estelle, Zentaro, Luna, you have a more reliable route to KOs as long as the points are going for a long time. So if Soondubu can stall out these points and get a power play going off of an Ad Rush proc or two, they definitely will be able to find victory in this one. But there's a lot relying on that.
Yeah, as you said, they definitely have more consistent ways to dish out damage, whereas Bunn Bunn, they want those missed positions, they want those edge KOs more than anything, playing around the center of the field. And both teams really are going to be putting probably a lot of stock in that ad rush. I mean, I could see some. The goalies probably could go primetime. Maybe the Luna still goes ad rush. I don't know. But I think more than likely, this could just be a minimum 4 ad rush game. Probably Grimilla will go primetime, but 3 ad rush game where you're really banking on your brawlers finding those picks here. We can actually take a look now. Okay, Liari did go primetime. Okay, I was actually totally wrong. Just Grimilla and Scyther went for ad rush. Everyone else went for primetime. And 3Z actually went for Vicious Vambrace here, which I think is kind of interesting because I feel like Bunn Bunn is looking for more edge KOs rather than chip damage.
Yeah, I don't know. If Scyther gets a scary build later in the game, which is pretty easy on Drakar, he honestly scales pretty well, then certainly 3Z will be happy to have that Vambrace, but in these early sets, I don't expect him to need that Vambrace. So it's going to put Soondubu at a bit of a disadvantage, which we're already seeing with the barriers. But they even it up here, so both barriers are now gone. And I don't know, we'll let it play out. We'll see how this goes, because Grimilla is getting staggered by Scyther right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the picture. Scyther 12 able to capitalize on that elusive from the Crater Maker there. Well played. But yeah, this is definitely a bit of a wild card match. Outside of we know that there's probably gonna be a lot of fighting, it's pretty unclear what we are going to expect. And I think it's really going to come down to if one team decides to start snowballing, or if it's just going to be another set 5.5 affair, like we saw last game. But I have a feeling that people are going to start snowballing, and so far it's looking like Bunn Bunn Bonanza might be filling that role. Liari getting that pick, maybe wishing she had the ad rush now, but it won't matter. They still have the 2v3. They still have the pums and the ad rush on Scyther, so Scyther getting huge buffs from this. Look at how fast that lizard is running, and Liari just able to dunk it in, making it a constant 2v3 here. That also just works. Just have support Rasmus in the back, just uber buffing Scyther by basically getting the picks and able to cover ground with those mom boots, or those mag souls. Same thing. Shoes go fast.
Yeah, there are a lot of shoes that make you go fast in this game. That's a fantastic point. Yeah, 3Z and Grimilla, I fear for their lives a little bit. I mean, we saw both of them get KO'd last point. And Scyther and Liari just immediately setting up the perfect goal there. That's a very convincing 3-0 from Bunn Bunn in set 1.
Yeah, I mentioned before that this feels like a momentum-based team, and so far they're showing it. So far they're absolutely showing it. Extra Special showing up on this draft is a little bit terrifying. We do have explosive entrants here on the board, a couple Dash Fiends in this game as well, but of course it'll be Happy Star for the Rasmus. Hot shot here for the Estelle, but explosive entrance going over to Scyther 12 is, I think, kind of scary. A little bit terrifying. Team player here for the Luna. Lilybun going for more size, and 3's just having settled for the Sparks, but Bunn Bunn Bonanza. After that set 1, I'm convinced that their comp, they know what they're doing on it. And after that draft, I'm now convinced that they have a pretty sizable leg up in this game.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, Scyther is going to have no problems finding KOs now. I mean, he can, with that explosive entrance, be anywhere he needs to be to drop those shotguns down, and they deal more damage. And this guy's got pummelers, so he deals a ton of knockback as well. And he immediately finds 2 KOs!
Criminal. Lock him up for that. And Liari just dunks it in again. Yeah, okay, Soondubu Strikers have a massive problem right now, and his name is Scyther 12. I don't know how they can immediately respond to this. I don't think they can. They might just have to play for the next draft and pray they get something and are able to reset. I don't know. Or they just have to find some way to lock in. But another pick here from Liari. Scyther almost taken off the field by Grimilla, but won't find it. It's just going to run back up and shotgun him off the field. And now it's another 3v1 yet again for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Liari going to dunk it in. It's the same formula. It's the same formula. Liari gets the pick. Scyther procs all the move speed, runs up, gets another pick. It's a 3v1. Liari dunks it in. That's literally how the last 5 points have played out.
Yeah, this Scyther dude is so scary. on the Drakkar. So scary. I will say, so Bunn Bunn, they've gone for the win condition that I predicted at the start of the match. Not Bunn Bunn, sorry. Soondubu Strikers. They've gone for the win condition that I predicted they were going to, which is that they're playing for like late game stall potential, right? So obviously Scyther is getting staggered here. And if they can keep their barrier alive for the rest of the point, Soondubu Strikers have Grimella with Team Player. They have Shapeshifting with Hot Shot. And then 3Z is able to consistently dish out damage. So they can, like, pretty reliably, by the time overtime hits, get all their core speed online and have a power play riled up and ready to go as long as 3Z has been brawling effectively enough. And so if the points go long, that is Soondubu's win condition. The problem is, Scyther has just been steamrolling through here, and Liare finds another pick there. Like, these points aren't going to make it to overtime if Bunn Bunn keep going like this. That being said, overtime is clocked in right now. Here's Soondubu's time.
Nice setup there from Shapeshifting. The piercing shot off of his own core flip to get the barrier. So now both sides opened up. The best chance Soondubu have had so far this game to make something happen. Grimella always has to be so careful about his positioning, though, because Scyther can just go invisible and launch him off either the side or into the center. Or Liare can just hook him as well. And then this happens. Another 2v3 for the Soondubu Strikers. And they'll dunk it in yet again. 6-0 for Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Soondubu Strikers, they're playing for late game, but Bunn Bunn are making it so that this is not going to go to a late game. One more set away from ending this entirely. Oh my gosh, Deadeye is on the field.
Forget Deadeye, spectrating.
1-2 spec. Oh my no. Oh, a modern tragedy. It's a modern tragedy. They are able to take the Super Surge, though.
Modern Rasmus is here.
Yeah, modern Rasmus is here.
The spectrating, the Deadeye.
They don't need it.
Super Surge is all the rage.
They're killing
on Rasmus
anyway.
Right
They're
now.
just going to kill anyway. Super Surge, it's a good deny from Shapeshifting as well. They do get a 1-2 punch. Twin Drive here for, didn't go for the Deadeye. Scyther did not go for the Deadeye. I guess he doesn't have any range enhancements, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, Deadeye is not a crazy valuable pickup on Drek. Definitely the Twin Drive he's going to find more value out of. He gets that damage buff more often, as well as that burst of speed, right? Normally, the speed boost, not really super influential on Drakkar, but because he has explosive entrance, he goes pretty fast with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bunn Bunn off to another explosive start here. Scyther getting staggered. Will have to fall back, but Lilybun quick to take his place up on that midfield line. Back pass here to Lilybun. Is able to get it around Grimella, but a nice strike shot, or a nice strike placement from Grimella to get it around, and Lilybun able to clear it around the back of the barrier here. Shapeshifting, forced to play some defensive creating maker coming in. Lilybun able to make the evasion, and Scyther 12 walking up. That's a 6 KO streak on to 3Z Breezy. Scyther 12 looking to dunk this one in, but the core slipping past Bunn Bunn Bonanza, though it will ding their barrier. 5 seconds till 3Z comes back from passive. Scyther 12 doesn't even need a flip, just shotguns it right to the bottom side, and Bunn Bunn Bonanza, they will stay on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, even when that ad rush speed wears off, still for about 5 seconds after that, Scyther is rocking the pummeler speed, which is 30%. So a power play becomes, you know, exponentially more powerful than it normally is. Any given team, you know, you're always going to be up a player when you're in a power play. Here's Soondubu's opportunity. So they get just a player bonus here, which they're more than happy to take. And Scyther 12 being staggered. Hold on, they might get an ace here.
Don't even need it. It would be an ace, though, if they hadn't scored. 3Z had the primary lined up. But Shapeshifting changing the game, punishing Lilybun for the walk-up, and suddenly things fall apart. The complacency from Bunn Bunn Bonanza was their downfall at that point. And Soondubu Strikers showed that they have not gone anywhere. If they are able to steal one set away, I think things become increasingly difficult for Bunn Bunn. Now, just bouncing Scyther around. Shapeshifting gets a KO with the strike shot. That's a barrier gone. Pum's activated on Grimella. A backwards core flip off the center. Shapeshifting pushed up here. Now they're looking for the point. They want blood. They want revenge for those first 2 sets. 3Z to the top side, but Lilybun there. And Scyther is back online again. A 3v3, but DUBU are not letting up the pressure at all. Scyther, no one to pass it to. It just goes back into Grimilla's possession. Passing place here with 3Z Breezy. Lilybun can't find the somersault, but is big enough to block the shot. The hook comes out. Scyther, a shotgun into the hook. A beautiful combo from Bunn Bunn Bonanza. Now it's a 2v3 yet again. Bunn Bunn Bonanza need to bring down this barrier, though. They are getting staggered. The core flip from 3Z is going to send her off the edge and send the core into the goal. Now on set point, Soondubu Strikers, they have not left the game. They have returned to the chat, and they are here to fight back.
Yeah, they got just enough influential awakenings in the last draft, and then more critically than the awakenings, actually, is the playstyle switch up. You said that Scyther 12, and I mean, it didn't need saying, but Scyther 12 is clearly the problem here, right? Bunn Bunn Bonanza absolutely steamrolling when he's able to get online. But Soondubu, if they can kill him, Grimella finds the response here, gets an Adderith proc of his own. If they get enough of those, Scyther 12 no longer is the problem, and now Grimella becomes Bunn Bunn's problem.
Yeah, all of Soondubu, really. Shapeshifting is just pushing up to this midfield line and making things so difficult, and 3Z is just running around like a rat back there, being such a nuisance with all these extra cooldowns, and the double sparks as well. So we are back to a 3v3. Scyther is pretty low. Core flip here from Grimella. Almost staggered Scyther. Actually, they will pick up the barrier, though. Shapeshifting to send the core right back in. They already finds the pendulum swing. Looking to convert. The Tofu Fortress coming out, but a boost up from Grimella. Trying to get back to 3Z Breezy. There's a Crater Maker. Libun forced to evade here. Scyther now attacking the bottom side. Shapeshifting a sword angle. What a save! They already can't find the pendulum swing setup, though. Could be devastating, but down to Scyther 12, who will find the point, finally, and bring Bunn Bunn to match point. One more away from closing this out, Soondubu. They're still on set point here, but they cannot afford any more mistakes. They have shown that they can potentially win this and come back. And we'll see if they're able to make it happen.
Yeah, they've got a slight energy advantage as well. 2 core flips to them, whereas Scyther is the only one close to core flip. But that quickly gets turned around. Liari hooking 3Z into the hole, and Shapeshifting is immediately forced to burn his core flip. With this power play, it's turned around, but Shapeshifting finds a stray barrier there. Scyther responds. It's 3Z back on the board now.
3v3, both sides opened up on point 5 here. Potentially for game 2. Dawai versus Grimella in the midfield. They are able to get it past, but not able to do much with the core after that. Scyther does have the flip available. Walking up the field, Grimella, though, boosting in. Nice illusion evade against the shotgun. The Tofu Fortress coming out. Scyther boosting up invisibly. Gets knocked around. The core flip's coming out, but there's a Crater Maker. They end up with Grimella off the field. They are with the hook into the top side. The pendulum swing for fun. And that's going to be the game and the series. Bunn Bunn Bonanza take the game 9-2. They will close it out, and they will be moving on to the grand finals to face, once again, what seems to be their arch nemesis, Hungry Like Nephew, the multi-headed Hydra. See if they can bring down the beast in NASL Season 6. Oh my.
We were talking about Scyther that whole game with the 7 KOs, but Liari actually matched him on that stat with the 7 KOs and took the set MVP there. So she's reminding us, first of all, why she's kind of the maestro of this Rasmus midfield pick, just as she was back in the good old days. Hasn't lost that touch yet. And also reminding us why Rasmus midfield is to be feared on Imy's app, because the amount of hook kills that she got on the whole were just, I mean, it was 7, I guess. That was the number. So, yeah, it's just well played there by Bunn Bunn. A very fun series, and I'm so hyped. The Bunn Bunn triumphant return after their training arc last season. I'm ecstatic to see its conclusion. Is this the first time they've ever been in a grand finals?
I think it is. I want to say it is, unless I'm mistaken. I think they got like 3rd place one season. But I think this is the first time they made it to grand finals. So this is pretty crazy. I mean, people talk about like the underbun buff and that, but I mean, we're seeing it now really for the first time turn into something potentially pretty crazy. So we'll see if Hungry Like Nephew. I mean, they're consensusly the team to beat. Also, I know my camera broke. I touched the wire because I looked at it funny. So now it's just stop motion. I don't know, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing we're moving on to the next series, right? Because this will be the end of that. But yeah, consensus the team to beat is Hungry Like Nephew. So we'll see. Like just the reputation of the players on that team is pretty insane. So we'll see if Bunn Bunn Bonanza can keep it happening. I mean, they've got the momentum going into the series, and we'll see if they can keep it up. I think if they can get a solid game 1, they might be able to just keep it going. But it's going to be a series for sure, either way, no matter what happens. It's been a crazy day of NASL so far. A lot of fun games, and certainly a fun grand finals coming up. So that's it for us, though. We're going to throw it to a bit of a break, and when we come back, grand finals of NASL Season 6, we'll be crowning technically a new team winner no matter what, but we could have some returning players being the champs again. But Hungry Like Nephew versus Bunn Bunn Bonanza in the grand finals coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hungry like Nephew.